conversation. Eric Melvin, Hobbies with Funny Jones. To inspire you to carry on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's a Sunday session with the Scotts, and on the line you have me, Brittany, and Stefan.
Hey, everybody.
So go ahead and push that like and subscribe button because I'm telling you, you are going to like what you hear. So today, what's bringing me to the podcast is what we're going to talk about is a conversation I had after church today. So Stefan doesn't know the topic. I'm just springing it on him because I'd rather have us to have like a natural conversation than a scripted one, so that we can get like real, transparent, and authentic responses. So after church today, I had a church member, a minister in the church, came up to me, and she was basically just ministering to me and talking to me about like things, marriage, and being saved and being a young Christian couple. You know where I'm going with this? Because she said she talked to you too. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I'm not going to name drop, but this minister, she came to me and she was just like giving me a warning, like in love, but she was saying like, it's time for you to start. Well, not even it's time. She was saying just make sure, like as a young Christian couple in ministry, make sure you take time to do stuff with you and your husband and without the kids. She just kept highlighting like without the kids, make sure you remember what, brought you two together. Like go out and do these things. Just you two, be lovey-dovey, because I'm telling you like why are you smiling? She's like, I'm telling you because what's going to happen is y'all going to have Jesus. That's going to be, your connector, but then your relationship will be away from each other. Like you'll just drift away from each other. And so as she was telling me, I was smiling, and she kind of looked at me like, no, I'm being serious. And I'm like, I know you are 100% serious. Like I appreciate having people around me that are not afraid to come up to me and talk to me about uncomfortable topics. Right. Or it's easy to talk about uncomfortable topics about somebody else, but it's directly to me. And she has to look me in my face and say these things. Exactly. And I appreciate it because she's not a family member.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when you have that in the church, that's just number one blessing. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts on what she said, and then also share some thoughts of my own. And I feel like I'm kind of talking a little bit too much. So I want to hear like your thoughts, like when she was telling you, what were you thinking? Or
yeah. No, when I was right after service, I was standing up and I was talking with the lead pastor, and she came up and she said, I want to, talk with you guys about something. And I was like, okay. And so she says, it's just about your, your relationship and stuff like that. And I thought she was talking about the two of us. I'm like, okay, where is this going? But then she honed in, like she said, no, in your personal lives, in your home, your relationships, with your wives and whatever. And I was like, oh.
Wives?
Yeah, because she was talking to him too.
Oh, okay. Praise God. Clarifying questions.
Yes. And so while she was talking, in my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah. And then as the more she began to explain, her angle, where she was coming from, I began to really feel the sincerity of her heart, and that she was like dead serious.
Like a been there.
Exactly. And so, and people, I don't know, I love, and I don't want to say that I'll say this person is seasoned, because that's what this person would call themselves, or older, other older people in the church. When people talk like that, and me, I loved older people. I love seasoned people. So I really just listened, to what she was saying, and I began to just kind of think on some things, and I definitely see where she's coming from. I definitely respect what she was saying. I definitely want to begin to do some of the things she talked about, because we can do so much, or we can think we're doing so much, or whatever, but just on the outside looking in, having someone else's, thoughts, whether you take it, you can take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have to do everything they say, or it might not even be that way. Maybe it could just be something that the Lord had on her heart that she just wanted to express, and it could be confirmation for what you're already doing. Mm-hmm. But just some of the things that she was saying, I was like, you're exactly right. And I've heard it said before, a lot of times where the dynamics change in the relationship because you are a husband and a wife, and then you have kids.
Yeah, she kept on mentioning the kids.
Yeah,
like when you have kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And she kept saying that, and I was thinking, yeah, we do have kids. But some people say stuff like, when the kids grow up and leave, then who are you with? You don't want to be strangers, or what, or anything like that. Because I'm sitting up, I'm looking at you, you looking at me. What are we doing here? We don't even hardly know each other because we have put so much into our children, or just having relationships only concerning them. And so I like that. I like that she said that. I hope that I can remember the things that she said, because, like I said, it was real sincere. It was honest. It was true. It was right. It was tight. It was all that good stuff that I appreciate. And so, and I know that she recognized that I was really listening to her. So I do. I appreciate, like what you said, that someone it was bold enough to say something like that or whatever. And that's how you know that she truly does love us and want us to be the best couple that we can be. Young, and of course the other person she was speaking with is older, talking to him too, but married, So I just really, really appreciate what she was saying, and those are my thoughts. So it went over well with me, and me, I'm a lovey-dovey person anyway. So
yeah, very that good insight, because I feel the exact same way. And then something that you had said too was like it could be like tight, or it can be like confirmation of something that you're already doing. And I appreciate the dynamic that we both talked about, like how she is bold enough to come and like have those conversations with different people. I'm pretty sure it's not just with us, because she's a genuine person, but also for her to feel safe in talking to us. Honestly, she probably don't care if we get offended or not.
Right.
But the type of people we are, like, we're not going to operate in the spirit of offense. Like, we'll tell you, like, oh, you done offended me, or I feel some type of way, but we try not to hold on to that type of stuff. Yeah. And I feel like that's really good, too, when you're in a space with people like that, especially being saved, especially being Christians, because too many times we ask for people like that in our lives, right? And then when the Lord blesses us with somebody like that, we carry around like that spirit of offense. We don't want to even hear them, because whatever they say, they say a hit dog will holler, and it don't feel good. But I mean, being mold, shape, change, and growth and all that stuff takes a stretching sometimes.
Absolutely.
But I was also tickled because as she was talking, I was just thinking, like, lady, I call it no like disrespect, but I was just thinking, like, lady, you just don't even, like, you don't even know. Like, it's a blessing. Like you said, for me, it was like confirmation. But also, I had to tell her, like, I'm an introverted person. Yeah. So, when she was talking about, like, you need to go out and do these different things, it made my mind kick flip, like, just switch to, like, we're on social media sparingly. Like, you have your Instagram and stuff like that, but neither of us is on Facebook or, other apps. Like, I don't have anything. Really, YouTube is my jam. This platform is my jam. But it made me think about how society perceives successful couples. You have to put it on display. Like for social media, you have to put it on a display for people to think that you're happy, or you're growing, or you're doing something, like, you're doing things like that. Right. And if you're not, then it's questionable. Right. And I was driving home after I talked to her. That's how she's really ministered. I'm still thinking about the conversation. And so I'm driving home, and I was just thinking, oh my goodness, like, I'm such an introverted person that even before I was married, I had mystery around me, and it was good. It could be good or it could be bad. But me, I was secure in myself, because I'm like, none of y'all know me. I know none of y'all know me. So it doesn't, to a certain degree, nothing bothered me, because I'm so introverted that in myself, anything that you could say, I know you lying. Like, I know there's no way. Right. And so I was just saying, I guess it's kind of a blessing, and could take it left or right, that I brought like that to say into my marriage, because I feel like that's one of those things that like protects your peace. Because a lot of people try to like not even pretend, they want to have the best marriage, but because they're not taking into the fact of like the kind of generation that we live in, they can be generally posting good things that they're actually doing, but once they put it out there, like the Bible says, let your good not be evil spoken of. I had to learn that early. Like, you could be doing good, but people are still may speak like evil. Like, we're in a generation where it's always show me quick and fast, or they don't care really too much about protecting their peace. They put everything out there for scrutiny, or just different things like that. And I know, like, for a fact with us, a lot of people like will even ask, well, what's going on? Like, what are y'all up to? What's going on? Because no, we don't get out. That's my fault. Because if you had your way,
we'd be doing a little more.
We'd be out, honey. We'd be probably somewhere right now, not sitting here doing a podcast. Right. We'll be doing more. Like, if you had your way, but because we're not, everywhere doing everything, not like, plastering or doing stuff like that. People will ask, like, what's going on. But I feel like in a way that privacy kind of helps, like,
Absolutely.
because don't nobody know really what's going on. Like, it's just truly the contentment, like being I guess I was gonna say being happy with one another instead of the need. Like, I don't have a friend that I'm going to and tell, like, it can be something small, it don't have to be anything big, but telling her or him this, and they can tell the story better than I can tell it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just
Yes.
different things like that.
Yeah.
And so that was another thing that came to my mind, because it's just like, just because you don't see us doing these things, or we don't display ourselves in a certain way, and it's not because we're trying to be churchy, because she made the comment, and I'm talking about conversations at home, not about the Lord,
It
not
doesn't
about
always
church.
have to be
It
about
doesn't have to be
church.
about God and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because, we go down our rabbit holes, but I was just thinking to myself, lady, like, you just don't know. Like, I've seen so many people before me, and, had encouragement from other people, but it's just a blessing to have confirmation in you, because sometimes, just like the dark room analogy, you don't know when, like, the sun is setting, when your room begins to get dark. So it's good to constantly be reminded of,
Yes.
of things like that too, to help you to count your blessings. But her conversation actually just made me to be grateful for, like, the peace, like the connection we have with Jesus, but just what we have is literally what we have.
Yes.
Nobody can speak on it. I mean, they can, positive or negative. They really can.
Yeah.
But for us, it makes no difference, because nobody knows to a certain degree, the depth. But a lot of people will put all their stuff out. I mean, ain't nothing. I mean, they're deep into they in relationship with you.
Exactly.
With y'all.
Exactly.
You-
Yeah. No.
So-
And me, I mean, I had to learn to be a private person through you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I brought it in heavily introverted person here. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't even. Stefan had to teach me how to have conversation. No, not have. Stefan had to teach me how to hold conversations with people, because that's how socially awkward I was. Even having this conversation with the minister at the church, it got really social awkward. I had to keep looking away because she was giving me, like, the intent glare, like, looking me in my eyes, and I'm like, this is intense.
Yeah.
But I thank God for it.
Right. But I think it's a good balance. I think you have put the reins on me a little bit to bring me back out of the so much being into, because when you become a unit, it's a us now. Right. It's so much.
You were in his
I'm
head.
not-
He
no.
was a
Here we
celebrity.
go with this.
Everybody, when I married this man,
Oh my God.
let's just tell it. When I married this man, nobody knew who I was. Nobody. I mean, nobody still knows who I am. I married him, and I swear the next day, everybody and their mama, I could be walking, minding my business.
This
Stephen wife. Oh my, you're married to him. Oh my, I love him. Like, and who do you? And then I had to tell him, why is these all older women? What? I'm like, I'm keeping my eye on you. Normally, you got to worry about people your age or younger. I said, don't be messing around having some sugar mamas up in
Something is
here.
wrong with
that was
you.
before I found out. Well, when I was married, I knew, but I had to tease him, because I'm like, I know you saved, but
Yeah.
they kissing you a little bit too much
you
on the
quit?
cheek, ain't it? Them church mothers let it give you know what kiss.
No, it's the love of the Lord.
It
That's all
is,
it
but anyway, I'm going left.
But no, absolutely. I think we're just a good balance, because you have showed me how to, just hold off some. Everybody ain't got to know everything, and I think that's a very important thing. Just with us, me getting off Facebook, and I did that also because everything people are sharing is not always good for you to consume all the time. I don't care how much they share. That doesn't mean you have to partake in their sharing. And just for my own sanity, things just got so weird. People just got real backwards, and I don't like that. I like authenticity. I like realness. And when you go talk about people and how they post their relationships, and some of that stuff just isn't authentic. It's not.
Yeah, that part when
and
actually
it's like, oh my gosh, because
they show it but they don't live it.
I don't want to be a part of that community. That people who are, I just like real. And I think with us, we go on vacations and we do fun stuff and we spend time with family, we eat good food, but we're experiencing the moment. We're not flat. We don't have to take pictures of our plates and post them, and and not saying anything
wrong
with that stuff is
we,
wrong.
We love to see it. We want to know what's out there.
But just to be able to connect on a different way, I think, just kind of like we were discussing some of the concerts that people go to. Now folks are recording concerts. They're not really in the moment of them because they have to post it, you know. Our relationship will post because it's surviving the test of time.
True.
That's the post.
Yeah, people, you know, now that you said that and you talk about like the 7-year itch, 10 years this year going into a new year. That's crazy. We already going into year 11 though.
Yes, that's wild.
Well, this is 10 year. This is 10
This
years.
is the 10th year, but we're moving
toward the 11th,
towards the
which is
11th
crazy.
year.
But people will often realize that too, because it doesn't seem like it's been 10 years at all. But people who were married still are married be thinking like, oh my gosh, I've been married for 10 years or what? Like what? I'm just like, yeah, it's crazy. 10 years, 2 kids.
Yeah.
Two parents, everything else. Life.
Yeah. I mean,
but it's a blessing. Why you laughing?
I mean, and Brittany says this all the time. I have changed so much from when we met 10 years ago, 12 years ago, because we've been together, I'll say 12 years, married 10. And I've changed so much, and I have. I mean, I have changed so much physically.
You're so special.
But I thank the Lord, you know, just for keeping me. But it's when you think about all the dynamics of a relationship and getting back to what she was talking about, it is important, and in these times, because we are young, that we build it, because when we're older, we want to be like the couples who are able to talk about their relationship and the things that they endure with one another and how they made it. You know, we want to be the couple that can encourage other younger couples to, these are the things you have to do, but it's practice makes perfect. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And if we practice on really what we want to put into our relationship, because like me, you know, I love getting out in the yard to work. I love doing yard work. I love figuring stuff out, like little stuff I've been doing around the house has been kind of interesting to me. And I do these things because I'm like, I want you to know that, you know, I can help take care of these things, that I love you. I want to do this for you. I want your stuff to go right and be so right. But with, you know, going on a date night is different because that's going to cause us to get out. I can do stuff around the house, but this is just where it's at. But, you know, how long are you going to be able to be without the kids?
Oh, now you want to get spicy. I love my children to a fault almost.
Oh, yeah. And I do too. But I just, you know, I do believe it's important for us to go out and do some of the things that she was saying in that.
A click connect too. You know what I mean? Because even when I said that, I said because you know, I told her, you know, your mind instantly wants to think of a rebuttal. I'm like, but I'm because I want her in so many words without telling her my business, because I am introverted, but I want her in so many words to be like, you know, no, I got you, I understand. Like you know, you don't know because you don't see, because we don't operate like that. Because like for me, for example, my love language is quality time.
Yes.
So I'm a homebody. I don't get out to do that quality time, but it's like I fight. I can't be away from you for too long. I just don't know. I just go, you know, I go crazy. Like even when I'm mad at you and you get on my last nerve, I'll come down with an attitude because I have to be quality time. You know what I mean? So strange. Oh my gosh, why are we like this? But which is a good thing. But I was saying that to say, like, even with the kids, like at home, I'm like, y'all get away. Me and your dad want to. I don't even. I don't. Disclaimer. I don't even know if he wants to. But I'm like, me and your dad want to watch TV. Me and your dad want to talk. Me and your dad. Like, you know, I'm constantly trying to get escapes, like to kick them out. Like I'm the queen of kicking them. Go to your room.
Yeah.
Shut the door. I will tell them, shut the door behind you. You know what I mean? But she does, you know, nobody can, they don't, you know, see that, you know, type of thing, or, you know, like the quality time aspect of it. Because like I was saying, social media is more display it, but not really like live it. Like you doing like all these things, rooftop cafes, pictures of food, this, that, going everywhere. But it's like, are you really spending time together or being in that moment?
And I can't wait till we get to the point where we can do rooftop.
I know you can't.
Oh my
I'm gonna be so
I'm
tired.
So
I'm gonna be so tired.
Post my food,
honey. It's talk about a sacrifice for an introverted person.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna be at the picture smiling, and then he gonna take another one. I'm gonna be
laid out,
tired. But sorry, even when I was saying, even when it comes to like living a moment, like I notice a lot of things we do in church because our kids are they're cute. They're very cute. They're even more cute to other people, right? You know, And people will constantly tell me, take a picture, get the video, take a
Yeah.
picture, take a picture. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to look at them through my phone. I want to look
At them.
at them, smile at them, interact with them, not have a gadget in my hand. So I'm glad that I do have people around me who are not living in the moment, because they're like my personal flick
they're
picture
gonna get the
takers.
moment.
They're going to get the moment,
Yeah.
but I want to live in it. Certain things to where I'm like, I know I don't have a picture of it, but I have this memory. Like, this
Right.
my heart was so full in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but that's just good stuff. That's just kind of, what I wanted to talk about today, just kind of get your thoughts on as far as the marriage thing. So, can of worms have been opened. We need to figure out where we going. And it can be something simple.
What you mean?
See, your
Like
brain,
vacation?
see, I knew his brain was going to go to vacation. Where we going?
I
Vacation.
love to
He's trying to be
vacation.
somewhere where some water is, or some,
absolutely.
I don't have time.
Take me away.
She said a date.
A date.
Out. See, I knew it's the extreme for me, but
I got some ideas on that, because again, like I said, I'm a lovey-dovey person, so I know exactly what we need to do. What I don't like to do is spend money
Ooh.
to do these things, but it is very important, and you're going to spend money on what you want. You're going to spend time with who you want to spend time with.
That's true. You preaching.
Absolutely. So,
You might as well
want
make it
this.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that's what we. So I have great ideas.
That's good. I can't wait to hear some of the ideas. And then I guess this will be a good little story, because it's a true story, to end this very first Sunday session with the Scotts on. I'm a teacher, and I've told you this story multiple times. And my person who was over me, helping me teach, my brain not working right now. When you what I'm gonna call it an intern. My brain is shutting down.
You're an intern?
No, I wasn't an intern. I was a student teacher. Why can't I think of that? Oh my gosh. When I was a student teacher, what's the teacher called over you?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Anyway, that don't matter.
You didn't tell me this story before. You told me the story before.
Yeah, 1,000 times when I tell her, you'll know exactly what it is. Listen, basically, me and her was talking, and she was sharing. I don't know why we was talking personally like this, but she was sharing with me how she was so sad. And I mean, she even had little tears in her eyes. Her daughter was going to college.
Yeah.
You remember I told you this story?
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to be excited and happy for
Yeah.
her. She's like, no. She's like
Like,
all we've ever known was her in the house.
Yes.
Like, she is just going to be so different. Like, she was almost, to me, almost kind of afraid for her daughter to
yes.
leave. Like, I know she was happy for her daughter, and she was even expressing happiness to be able to be with her like husband, like to be just them two. But then it was almost like a sadness behind her eyes, like, oh, she's gonna be us
Right,
two.
right.
But the background to the story was she met her husband when she was younger. They weren't married then. They were dating, got pregnant. They only got one daughter. That was the one daughter. So, she was really special in their
Yeah.
mind's eye, just probably spoiled. I don't know. I never met her daughter, but got pregnant. And then what happened is when she got pregnant, they got married sometime during her pregnancy, so that when she gave birth, they were married. They were already living in their house.
Yeah.
And so she was explaining to me that all she ever known, all they had ever known, they really didn't get a chance to experience life with each other. It's always been the three of them
Yeah.
for everything. And so she was just basically explaining how, like, when her daughter goes off to college, she's going to have to know what it's like. Yeah. She's going to have to learn what it's like to be alone with her husband, because she never, ever dating him. Yeah. But like married husband and wife, she had never been alone with him ever. And I'm not saying like dates or anything like that, as far as just like life, doing life, living life.
Yeah.
Experience, like to that degree. And that's the story that has always just, it's stuck with me.
Yeah.
It stuck with me. So
Yeah, no, and I'm sure it's a scary moment. It's a scary time, just because, like you said, they got married after they, were found out they were pregnant, and then they moved in together. So that they didn't really have a beginning.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They didn't have that experience.
So yeah, no, I that's a scary thing. So it's almost like she had to find out who he was.
Yeah, not in
After
dad
so
mode.
many
Like, all she
years.
knows is dad.
She
I
knows
don't know
his
what her
dad. Right.
husband's name was, but who was Steve?
Right.
Yeah,
who are you?
I know dad,
outside
but who
of,
was Steve?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. And so yeah, you and I mean, we were together for a while before we had our first.
Yeah, 4 years.
So
And we were mad about that.
Yeah.
Because we wanted so much more time
Yes, we
together.
did. We
My,
did.
when you think back on those days, when you talk about, what do they call it? Like the honeymoon phase and just being in love.
Yeah,
Like we were
beginning
just
stage.
sickening.
Yeah, we were.
Sickening.
We were.
Very sickening.
Yes.
And we need to talk about that on another podcast too. Remember that would be so good for us to talk about how people were saying, I need to work on myself. I need to live life, experience life,
that
and
is a
then I'll get
topic.
married. Because that is a whole
topic
topic right there.
Yes,
Because
it
I
is.
asked the question, honey, you've been learning yourself for 10 years.
Man.
When you gonna figure it out? But anyway, we got to come back with that one because one day we were talking about that and we just minds were just going and was just like,
Yes.
that's crazy. And it just made I hope both of us, but it made me, I can speak for myself, be so glad that I snatched Stefan about that dating world.
Wait a minute.
Made him marry me. No, just kidding. Kind of, sort of, but and we were able to experience life together. And I even told him, and he's probably thinking like, girl, you crazy, but like, I don't want to be in my old age finally get married to you, and then everything you telling me your glory years I'm not a part of. I remember this. We was like, and I'm here listening to you. I wasn't there. I'm not even a part. So your best years, your glory years, I'm not in them. Your memories.
As you can tell, she is very passionate about this.
I'm very passionate about it because I feel like everybody, and it's all God's timing. So I'm not saying don't get married when you're older or it's bad when you get married. God's timing is God's timing. It's just when you experience something that's good, you naturally want other people. Like, I don't want people to buy into that. You need to figure. You need to live. You need to do all this, do all that, do X, Y, Z first. That's what a life partner is for.
Yeah.
To go to be with you and to, grow with you and to experience those things with you, so that when you do grow old, you can look back on your glory years and you have experienced some of those.
Yeah, together.
Together.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast right here. We hope you enjoyed. This is not the first Sunday sessions, but this is the first Sunday session with the Scotts. We plan to bring you more podcast just about life, about being young, about being married, about being Christian, just really about anything that we feel like will connect with you all. Stephen, you got anything else to add?
Nope. Stay blessed, y'all.
All right, that's it. That's all. Love all of y'all. Peace and many blessings.